Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. So today what are we going to discuss are clauses. Okay, what are clauses? A clause contains only one subject and one verb. Simple. They contain only one subject, one verb. Okay? And the subject of a clause can be mentioned or hidden, but the verb must be apparent and distinguishable. And the difference between the phrase and a clause is a clause contains a verb and a subject, but a phrase does not contain a subject as well as a verb. Okay? And the subject of a clause can be mentioned or hidden, but the verb must be apparent and distinguishable. A clause is a group of words containing a subject and predicate and functioning as a member of complex or compound sentence. Okay? And the examples of clauses are I graduated last year. When I came here, I saw him. So, in the last sentence, you can see when I came here, I saw it. So, there's a gap between them. Do you know why? Because the clauses are different, are divided into two types: subordinating clause and main clause. And they have other names also: main clause and independent clause, and subordinating clause and dependent clause also. Okay, remember. So, what is a independent clause? An independent clause functions on its own to make a meaningful sentence and look much better like regular sentence. In the sentence, two independent clauses can be connected by coordinators: and, but, so, or, nor, for, yet. Okay, what we have learned: what is an independent clause? Independent clause is also known as main clause, and it usually looks like a normal regular sentence, and it always have a meaningful sentence. Remember, the difference between dependent and independent clauses are: independent clause has a meaningful sentence, where dependent clause does not have a meaningful sentence. Here are some examples. He is a wise man. I like him. Can you do it? Do it, please. You is hidden. The subject you is hidden in this. I read the whole story. I want to buy a phone, but I don't have enough money. And here it contains two independent clauses. I want to buy a phone, but I don't have enough money. You see, without but, if you divide them into two parts also, it has a meaningful sentence. I want to buy a phone. I don't have enough money. Are they meaningful? They are. And he went to London and visited the lords. Subject of the second clause is he, so he visited the lords. It's an independent clause. Okay, guys, have you understand? Yeah. So what's an dependent clause? And it's also called a subordinating clause. Okay, a dependent clause cannot function on its own, but it leaves an idea or a thought which is unfinished. It is also called as subordinating clause. Dependent clause help the independent clause complete the sentence. The dependent clause alone cannot form a sentence. Right here, what are they trying to explain us in this is a dependent clause that I've said you before, right? An independent clause, it doesn't have a meaningful sentence. It would be unfinished, and it does not leave it, but it leaves an idea. But that's an unfinished, I can say. So it is also called, and it's called the subordinating clause. And dependent clause help the independent clause complete the sentence. Okay, and a clause complete a sentence, and the dependent clause alone cannot form a complete sentence. Okay, the subordinators to do the work of connecting the dependent clause to do another clause to complete the sentence. In each of the dependent clause, the first word is subordinator. Okay, what you have understand, right? What is subordinator? Subordinator is something that do work of connecting the dependent clause to another clause to complete the sentence in each of the dependent clause. Here are the examples. When I was dating Diana, I had an accident. So in this, the dependent clause is when I was dating Diana. That's a type of sort of unfinished action, right? Does it make any meaning? When I was dating Diana? No. I know the man who stole the watch. Who stole the watch? Does it what? Give you a complete meaning? It just leaves an unfinished idea, right? Who stole the watch? Does it make meaning? No. He bought a car which was too expensive. Which was too expensive. Does it has any meaning? No. I know that he cannot do it. That he cannot do it. Doesn't make any sentence. It leaves an unfinished thought. Here, he does not know where he was born. If you don't eat, I won't go. He is a very talented player, though he is out of form. So here in the last sentence you can see he is very talented player. So this is the independent or main clause, and next one, though he is out of form. This dependent or subordinating clause. It does not leaves a idea or a thought, and it leaves the idea unfinished, right? So here are some exercises for you. Do it. Pause the video, do it, and then again start the video. Yeah, here are the answers for this. They said that underline the subordinate clause and circle the main clause in the following sentence. Now I'll say what is the subordinating clause and what is the main clause in the sentence. Okay, they said to underline the subordinating clause. What's the subordinate? I will revise it again. What's the subordinating clause? A subordinating clause that does not has the complete meaning and it leaves a idea or a thought unfinished. While a main clause is it leaves the idea unfinished. It leaves the idea correctly and they are in the form of regular sentences and they has a perfect meaning in them. Yeah, here are the answers. The answer for the first one is, as he was not there, I could not speak to him. As he was not there is the subordinating clause. I could not speak to him is the main clause. Okay? The second one, I waited for him until he came. I waited for him is the main clause. Until he came is the subordinating clause. We eat so that we may live. We eat is a main clause, so that we may live is a subordinating clause. We eat is a main clause, so that we may live is a subordinating clause. I don't know whether he is innocent. I don't know is the main clause. Whether he is innocent is the subordinating clause. If you eat so much, if you eat too much, you will fall ill. If you eat too much is the subordinating clause and you will fall ill is the main clause. I'm sure that you are wrong. I'm sure is the main clause. That you're wrong is the subordinating clause. The teacher said that honesty is the best policy. So in the sentence, the teacher said. The teacher said that, and that's the subordinating clause. Honesty is the best policy is the main clause. Tell me where you have put my books. So here, tell me is the subordinating clause. Where you have put my books is the main clause. The man who committed the theft last night has been caught. The man who committed the theft the man who committed the theft last night is the main clause, has been caught is the subordinating clause. It is difficult to understand why he distrusted his own children. It is difficult to understand is the subordinating clause. why he distrusts his own child, all children. And that's the main class. I hope you like this video. Thank you. And at the last, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Bye. Thank you.